Welcome in, everyone, back to the Slow Burn Podcast, episode 2 of season 4. I am one of your cozy co-hosts, Patrick from Nintentalk, and like always, joined by the coziest of queens, Min. Hello, hello.
Oh, me? One of them. Thank you. Yeah, I'm also a cozy co-host, Min, here again. And my channels are Min's Meadow on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, and yeah, we have a good discussion today. We have lots of good things in this episode, so I'm really excited. And it's our second of the season, so we're starting off good. Peyton, the coziest queen of Earth. How are you?
I don't think I'm the coziest queen in the room, Min, but we're not in the same room, but like in my heart we are.
In your room.
In my room, there are cozier
room.
queens in this room than me. There's like a million sloths, many Labubu's. They're cozier than me, but hi, it's Peyton of Payton's Corner. That's Peyton with an A, and I'm here to bring some joy to your day.
Yes.
Maybe or not.
I was
or
like,
not.
you sure about that?
I don't know. What if and then I just like say something crazy like I hate cozy gaming actually. No, I'm kidding. But
Let's
excited
clip that
to be
out of
here.
context.
No. You know what? Actually, I do hate cozy gaming. That's why I'm on this cozy game podcast, because this is just like, you know when you like hate something so much but you just like want to talk about it?
Oh, yeah. Hate watch.
That's this.
It's like a hate watch.
Yeah.
That's why they're watching.
Do you hate? I don't partake in the hate watching. Like, there's not enough. I don't like that. I just like want to avoid things that I don't like. I'm like, actually,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Do you think anyone hate listens? That'd be
Oh,
crazy.
yeah.
I hope not.
Hate
Not
listens?
listens, but
Maybe.
well, I feel like they watch it on the YouTube. They're like, "What's this?" Because that's like our newest platform, and then they're like, "I hate them," and then they comment something mean, and then maybe they don't come back again.
Like, I hate this so much, but like, I mean, I've already watched
Yeah.
an hour. Let's just keep watching.
They're like, I
Yeah.
hate it, but it's my work break.
Let's just join the
The
Patreon
Chipotle-
and like,
The Chipotle bowl needs some company.
yeah.
I
You
gotta
know-
listen to something.
In the mornings when I'm getting ready, I like watch something long, like, and I would love if there was this, but
Not
I
you.
can't watch this.
Well, you
'cause
can
I've
listen to
already
the
heard it
show.
and been there, you know. So it's so nice to just have something that's running instead of like the video ends and you're like, "Oh crap, I gotta find something else now," you know. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. We have an exciting show for you. We have a great Patreon discussion. We have some cozy game news, which we haven't done in a while. Our main event, we have brought a cozy game developer on the show. That's going to be a little bit later, talking about their new game, asking them some spicy questions that you may have been wondering. So that's going to be later in the show. And then, of course, ending it with listener emails. If you would like to support the show, you can over on patreon.com/slowburncast. For as little as $5 a month, you can support the show. We have lots of extra content. There's like starting to be an overwhelmingly amount. There's after shows.
Whoa, wait, don't tell them that. They're gonna be like, oh, cool, there's gonna be uploads every single day.
I mean,
no,
Let's
not
go.
like that.
There's a lot of
No, not yet.
there's what do we have? We have an after show. After each episode, we have like a bonus 40-minute show where we go over even more topics. We just started doing unedited episodes. So if you are at a specific tier over on Patreon, you can listen in to everything before we start, in between the segments. Like, that's a good time. And we have just so much more over there. Go check it out. Patreon.com/slowburncast. And check us out over on YouTube. Maybe you're there now, but YouTube at slowburncast. Everything is very easy for you guys. And I will hand it over to Min.
Unless they're mistaking us for that one Slow Burn podcast that's about true crime.
Yeah, there's like a
It's not that
political
one.
true crime slow burn.
Is it political true crime? I thought it was. I've never listened to it, but I should.
I think they go over politics. Yeah, people have sent us things
maybe not
on
then.
Twitter that I'm like, yeah, we would never cover that. But
Oh.
Well, we won't be having them on the show, but
No
you are
murder.
welcome.
You know, collab.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Well, we have a discussion this week on the Patreon. If you aren't a member, you can join for free and take part in these and take part in our polls as well. So this week's discussion is what have been some of your biggest cozy game surprises of 2026 so far? These could be releases that you have really enjoyed, games you just started playing this year that you're hooked on, or anything else you can think of. Game delays, controversies, etc. Like what has stood out and surprised you this year? We're going to go around and say ours, and then we're going to read the discussion. Let's start with Pat.
Yeah, I think two things come to mind. I think the first thing is definitely like the free to play, I think, cozy games. And we talked about this last year because we were like kind of looking ahead, like what's coming out for 2026. And we were like, people are either going to love these or hate these. And there's so many coming at us, like Heartopia and things like that. And the bubble is going to burst. And I didn't think it would burst this quickly. Like, without going into...
this loud.
Exactly, yeah. Without going into too much detail, like, Heartopia has had so many controversies that, like, Min was a huge fan of that game, no longer even covers it or plays it. So, yeah, I think that's one of my surprises. Like, on one hand, I am surprised that it has all happened so quickly, but on the other hand, it's like... kind of not surprised because like it's free to play, it's very like predatory with like the gacha stuff, like so yeah, part of me is like surprised, part of me is not. But yeah, if we're talking like games, I think one of my biggest surprises has been Pokopia. I think like before, like when it was first shown, I was like, oh my god, this is great. Like I don't even care that they're straight up saying like, hey, this is our Animal Crossing, you know, it's Animal Crossing, Minecraft, Dragon Quest Builders, whatever. But leading up to it, even like right before they showed that like direct, I was one of the ones being like, let's all calm down a little bit because it looks good, but we don't know to what scale it is. We don't know like how many items are in the game. We don't know if this is going to be a 20-hour game or a 1,000-hour game. And it's kind of looking like it's the 1,000-hour game. Like it looks really complete. People are having a lot of fun with it. Even people that aren't Pokemon fans at all, like people that are just cozy game fans are playing it. So yeah, I think that's two of my biggest surprises, like Pokopia just being as good as it is. Like it is such a good game. And then the whole free to play bubble kind of bursting. Like, I mean, you guys can go over yours, but like, it's not going to get better from here. Like all these free to play games coming out are going to constantly be grouped into that sort of negativity. So that'll be interesting to see, but Min, what do you think?
Oh, well, I mean, mine's definitely similar to yours because my biggest cozy game surprise was absolutely, first of all, like enjoying Heartopia and really liking it and really like finding it fun, mostly for the multiplayer elements and like what you could do. And I actually like a lot of the free to play like reset that you have weekly where you can like run around and like go to the store at midnight and be like, oh my god, it just reset, like new items are in the store. And it was really fun, and you would like see people around in the game, and it was really cool way to connect with your community, you know, online and offline, like on streams and off streams. And it was a fun game to cover as a creator because there's new seasons, there's new things to share about. So I was having a lot of fun with that. And then yeah, I was really surprised that like so quickly there were just a lot of like scummy things going on behind the scenes and things coming out about the game, and like things that people listening to this probably don't even know happened because you just play a game and you don't go into all the depth of things. But like as a creator, it came to things where I'm like, okay, I have to make a choice on like, is this the right thing to be talking about, promoting, and all of that. So at the end of the day, I decided not to play it anymore. And then, I also was being very picky about like sponsorships too. so this affected me not just as a player, but as like a creator, because I really enjoyed playing, but then it came down to like, should I even be playing it in my own time? And also, like, sponsors, they had asked a lot of times to sponsor, and I had never quite felt like I should do it. So I just kind of trusted my gut with that. And then I guess the second surprise after that, after deciding not to play, is that now these other games are coming out and they aren't actually from indie companies and they aren't actually like what they're saying they are, which makes sense because they have so much money to spend on sponsoring creators and stuff. So that the free to play thing is also mine, like biggest surprise and kind of disappointment because it's so just I don't know. It's like I get excited for those games because I love a game that you can connect with your community that kind of continues on. They tend to stick around for a long time. So like when you get in these slumps of like what do I play, you can play that. So now I'm just being really weary of these other games coming out, but still like maybe we'll play them. I don't know. And then my biggest like good surprise because that one was kind of mixed. Um I think it was Pokopia, but honestly, I think it could change next week. I think it might end up being Tomodachi Life because I've really loved Pokopia and I love like how it had a lot of story to kind of keep me going and invested. And I think after that, I did really well like decorating the withered wasteland.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like started moving on and I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm struggling where I struggle in Animal Crossing to just like come up with my own stuff to do. Even though I do feel like it's easier in Pokopia because you can just renovate the area, it still just felt like it was falling out of my like rotation of games a little more. And that's just because of how I tend to play games. But Tomodachi Life, I've been playing the demo. I played it twice and I'm like, it's so much fun. And it might be one of those games too that just kind of for a little bit really kind of hooks me in, but I have a lot of fun making the Miis in the demo
Mhm.
and I'm hoping that one will be a bigger surprise for me than I thought cuz I think it will stick around a little bit, but you know, even so, I think it'll just be one that I have a lot of fun with because you can be creative making the Miis and then you can like see what they do in the game. So that's one that I don't know. I feel like I did like, you know, the bad, the good, and the maybe
Promising, yeah.
the yeah. What I'm hoping for. Peyton.
I feel like you guys I think said mostly like what I was going to say too. I think it's been a crazy time for sure. I think that a lot of these large scale like free to play games I have been suspicious of and like I wasn't super into Heartopia. Like I played it the one time and then didn't play it again. And then some of the ones that are upcoming, I'm kind of like feel weird about too. So I'm surprised and not surprised by these games continuing to do terrible things. Like I'm like, oh, okay, now another thing. Oh, now another thing. Oh, now another thing. And it's really frustrating. And I think that it's, I don't know, similarly to kind of something else I want to bring up, which we'll bring up in the news because it's going to be in the news segment today. But talking about like Star Sand Island as well and like the early access again. I feel like we literally probably talk about early access on this show every single episode. And I think most of the time we're like, yeah, sometimes we like it, sometimes we don't. But seeing everything with Star Sand Island just as another is just like hitting me again. And I'm like, I'm out. Like, I'm out. I'm out. I think a lot of people maybe are also out with like, you know what? Maybe let's wait. Let's wait for these games to come out. Let's just like, I can't with the, oh, it's not on Steam anymore. Oh, what's happening now? Oh, it's not finished. Oh, but I spent money. I think people are continuously getting frustrated. But I think on the other hand, people also do like it. They like to get to experience games early. But I think I'm seeing more maybe negativity arise more recently than maybe last year. So yes to those things. I think cozy gaming is in a weird space, but I think it's good that I think we're having more dialogue about it. I think people are being like, yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this big upcoming game that's free to play, but it sounds like it's from an indie studio, but oh, maybe it's not from it. Is it actually a big corporation? Like I'm glad we're talking about these things. I think they're important as we, continue to have new games come out and, want to get excited about. It's hard to, I don't know, manage your excitement for things and then be disappointed when, oh, this game I really liked, oh, now they're doing something insane. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, a positive thing, definitely what you said, Pat, about Pokopia, because I was very extra about my precautions for Pokopia before its launch. Not because I genuinely thought it was going to be bad, but just feeling like I was worried about people buying a Switch 2 and then what if the game sucks?
Yeah.
And I'm glad it seems like across the board, everyone is having more fun than they even thought. So I knew people would like the game and I figured it would be good, but I was surprised in a good way by just how much content there seems to be in the game, how much people are seeming to enjoy it, the different things there are to do. It is seeming like it has kind of captured a lot of the Animal Crossing crowd as well, which is something we thought might happen, but we always think that might happen. And I will say, something I'm surprised about you guys didn't bring up, but not too surprised because I said it on the episode when we talked about it. Animal Crossing 3.0 is it didn't happen.
Yeah,
it's
that's
it
true.
didn't happen. And I said, I was like, we think this is going to be a flash in the pan? And we all were like, yeah. But I did not think we would switch up that fast because Pat was doing this stream the other day looking for Animal Crossing 3.0 items. And it was the first time I was like, oh yeah, there's a hotel and Animal Crossing and everything. There's Slumber Island. I forgot. So
Yeah,
I'm a little surprised.
I think looking back at it now, I think Nintendo it was kind of a swing and a miss. And
you think?
Really? I think it's strategic.
I get it, but I think when you go from naming something 2.0 and then you name something 3.0, I think the mission should have been honestly a soft launch of the game again, and it really wasn't that. It was here's a Slumber Island with not much to do. Here's the 3.0 update with what was it 50 items. It's just not enough. It's not enough. The game runs better now. The loading times are shorter. The game is crispier looking. There's better multiplayer, but I feel the update should have been way more than that.
Yeah. I feel looking back, they held us over just enough till Pokopia.
Yeah.
Pokopia has its wind. Now Tomodachi Life is coming out once people are maybe at least creators or I don't know, are maybe moving on from that and are ready to jump into something else. So I feel they're actually doing a good job releasing games and updates and things this year.
Oh, for sure.
Especially. So I don't
if
know.
you're a cozy gamer, you're getting fed. But
yeah.
I just think when you're talking Animal Crossing, that should be its own thing. That game was so huge and and they just, I mean, maybe there's more to come, but yeah.
I don't know. I feel now that we've seen Pokopia, and not to directly compare them because they are very different games, but I feel seeing what Pokopia did actually makes me excited for the next Animal Crossing, what they might do, how they might I don't know, make it bigger or different and more customizable, even more so. And it makes me feel it's the next Animal Crossing news is actually coming this year, I guess. Maybe I'm delirious, but that's how I've been feeling. Just with a big focus, I feel on the cozier games this year.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we have the discussion to go into. A few people felt the same way about these gacha cozy games coming up. Elle says, the amount of gacha cozy game releases being released as indies or simple queue MMOs has been a surprise. I'm really worried for the future of this genre as more companies try to squeeze money out of people who just like comfortable or cutesy game atmosphere, and aesthetics. The psychology and marketing of these games concerns me the most.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I've said this before, like the cozy gamers, not to like generalize the cozy gamers, but like it's a lot of newer gamers coming, either like starting to play games for the first time or coming back to games after not playing them for like a decade or two. And that's a group of people that are easily kind of can be taken for a ride with like marketing and things like that. But like we shouldn't, if we see a cute trailer, we shouldn't have to do all this FBI work and like look into the developer and like it's so annoying. But like
Yeah.
that's where we are.
And I obviously love Infinity Nikki. I don't think that all gacha games are going to be like predatory. I mean, they might all have their issues and controversies and things, whether it's the players being mad about the game and changes in the game, or as far as like these developers are not, people we want to support. Like it can kind of range, but I think at the end of the day, it's like you have to be weary of your money or how much you're spending and just be careful and, keep an eye out for like how the microtransactions work in games and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
We also have some people also being, surprised by Pokopia. Alyssa says, I'm blown away by how much I love Pokopia. I've never been into Pokemon, and the trailers of the game didn't really impress me. But then I watched Pat stream it, and I had to buy it, and now I have over 130 hours in the game. Learning to build big structures, just finished a lighthouse over the end game part on the beach, no spoilers, and have also many ideas that I can see myself playing this game for years. I'm very surprised I haven't played Disney Dreamlight Valley since starting Pokopia, as I've been playing since week 1 as a player for DDV. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, so they're like locked in on Pokopia. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see if we have any that are...
I saw some Witchbrook discourse here, which I like. I think is interesting. Dragon Fairy said, "I'm worried about Witchbrook, and I have to admit I was bummed when they said there's no combat in the game. I envisioned something different about this game as it's been in development for 10 years. I missed that. Did you guys know there's going to be no combat? Is this true?"
I just kind of assumed because we didn't see anything.
Well, I assume like as a witch and a wizard, you would have spells or like things you could do for that, but I didn't really go into depth of like thinking about how that would work or what it would look like in the game. I think most people like just look at the game and like, oh, it looks cute, like let's play it, and I don't really think that deep. But that is kind of surprising.
Yeah, I didn't think it would be I have to do a better job of reading their updates. Honestly, I've like stopped reading their updates because I'm like, okay, like just when the game comes out, I'll play the game. I don't know if that's bad of me. Is that like should we be reading the updates?
No.
I used to read the updates. Now I'm like, I just when the game comes out, you'll let me know.
Yeah.
I think I just kind of assumed it would be like maybe similar to Stardew, where there's like a place where combat happens, but I guess we'll have to see. But I saw another person also comment, like, where is Witchbrook? And I think that's interesting to bring up here because when Witchbrook was delayed last year, they delayed it like, what, a couple weeks before it was set to launch?
Yep.
And we said then, I was like, I feel like this is going to be like a fall 2026. Like this, they're going to delay it, but it's not going to just be like a month.
A couple months, yeah.
And I think people are starting to kind of have that train of thought too of like, wait, wasn't this game like almost like, guys, remember when you announced this game like 10 years ago and then you went radio silent, we never heard about it again. Then you come out swinging in a Nintendo Direct and you're like, haha, the game is coming out on this date. And then like a month before you're like, actually we're delaying it. And ever since then, it's been months. There's not been we're aiming for fall, we're aiming for winter. Unless I'm missing it, I haven't seen them say that yet, but I'm not as locked in on the Witchbrook stuff as I was. So I think that is interesting.
We should,
and
if you had to say right now, do you think Witchbrook comes out this year?
I want it to, but like, I think if it's coming out in fall. We're not seeing it in the spring. We're not seeing it in the summer. We'll see it in the fall. If it does not come out in the fall, what happened? What happened?
I think it is coming. I think that we have more Nintendo Directs coming. You know, I think we have the Wholesome Direct coming up. I think we could see it in one of those showcases with a release date again, or just an update, or a better trailer, or more info. And I feel like they aren't rushing, but they are kind of like, okay, we should get this game out. Because Moonstone Island announced that they have a similar idea too. I mean, I don't know that they're rushing, but I just feel like sooner rather than continue to wait. People have been waiting forever for this. So I
wonder if Nintendo would let them into another Direct. I don't know. Like, because
it depends on the reception and the comments. And I don't know.
Like, hey, we've had you in once and you didn't hit that mark. Like, because when and not to say like, oh, if you don't hit your mark, Nintendo hates you, but like Nintendo, I think wants to showcase new things. And like that is a known thing. So I don't know.
Maybe it would be
we watch these and I feel like nothing's new.
Literally.
This is true.
Literally.
Maybe this Witchbrook will be like a sizzle. What do you call it? Like the little
sizzle reel?
Oh yeah.
The little boop bop. The little
it's like the
montage.
show's mid and then it goes Witchbrook, Haunted Chocolatier. It's like whoa.
Yes. Okay. No.
No,
Haunted Chocolatier would have a segment. I think. But I don't know that we would see. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know that we would see a Witchbrook Wholesome Direct. Like, maybe, but I doubt it. I feel like maybe they would
I think their socials are big enough where they could just make a post and.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that whatever they do, I think they need to. And maybe it's good they haven't given a release window, because I think it'll look worse if they're like, yeah, it's coming out fall 2026, and then it doesn't once again.
Yeah. I mean,
it's worse than just not tell us.
To get into those showcases, like I heard they want you to have a date, so then that gets developers to just say a date and throw it out there, and especially if it's that year. So maybe they wouldn't be in another, but maybe we'll see something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I did want to highlight these last two comments because they were more indie games that were mentioned. Nick said, I've been playing Collector's Cove and it's great. I've also played Life is Strange Reunion, which isn't really a cozy game to most, but I think it's super cozy. I also recently got into Zelda Breath of the Wild again, and I last played it when it was released, and the cozy vibes are strong. And from Lavender Bud saying, I've been playing Fishbowl and I am loving it. The lifesome aspects sends a really good message about self-care and processing grief. I think it's very powerful, and I love seeing the IRL themes done well in cozy gaming. It makes the narratives more relatable, in my opinion, and I'm also excited for Moonlight Peaks.
Oh, yeah. That's another one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Cool to see what everybody's been into, and I think that ended up being like a really good discussion.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we have more news to go into. Graveyard Keeper, the first game, yes, there is going to be a number 2, was free on Steam. And that was how they announced, apparently, that there is a number 2 game coming out, Graveyard Keeper 2. So we're going to look at the trailer here and just kind of react to, they're saying this is coming out in 2026. If you've never heard of Graveyard Keeper, you basically keep a graveyard. Like, you are taking care of that. You are like processing dead bodies and like doing all this stuff, and it's kind of plays like a farming sim where you meet people in the town and you know you have this RPG thing going on. So what are our reactions to this? It's going to be coming to PC, Xbox, PS5, Switch 1 and 2, and this was announced at the Triple I initiative as well, which I heard a lot about, but I don't really know what that quite is. But what are our thoughts on Graveyard Keeper 2, Pat?
Yeah, Graveyard Keeper is an interesting one. First of all, I think the game looks fantastic. Like, visually, it's some of the best pixel art out there. I could never get into the first one, which is odd because like some people tell me it's way better than Stardew. That's literally what they say. It's like, this is my game. Like, this is the best cozy game ever. Cozy in quotations. But yeah, like, so I like that it's getting a sequel. I think just from a casual who like couldn't get into Graveyard Keeper 1, this looks like the same. Like if you told me this is Graveyard Keeper 1, I'd be like, "Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't know that was in the game." But like, so I don't know. It does look maybe a little too similar, and it's also kind of a bummer that like you still play as this main character. I'm sure there's a story that goes with this character, but I know a lot of people like when they play these kinds of games, they want to see themselves in it. So it's like there's no character custom, like you're playing as this like 50-year-old guy, which nothing wrong with that, but like, you know. So
Can't relate to that.
Okay, not that old. So yeah, I don't know. It's exciting to see it because it's like one of the better cozy games from everyone else, but I just couldn't get into the first one. It just seems like there was a lot of mechanics going on, and I don't know. I couldn't find that sweet spot of getting into it. So maybe this one will be worth a try. I'm like seeing the trailer for the first time, and there's like tower defense elements to it. Mm-hmm. Was that in the first one? I don't think so.
I mean, I have a similar experience to where like I couldn't get into it. I played a little over an hour though. Yeah. Which I guess if you go back and think about it, maybe that wasn't enough time to give, but I just remember feeling like I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start, and I think people who've gotten into the game have said like, well, that's the thing. It takes a second to get into it, but once you know what you're doing, you are like absolutely obsessed with this game. But for people like me and Pat, we probably just didn't have the like patience or willpower to like let the game get us there, because it's just you already spend like over an hour running around feeling stupid, like what am I doing? So I hope that this second game will fix that. Like will be there for players who didn't play the first one or didn't get into the first one and can like get into it easier, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've never played. This is probably one of the most requested games I get from
free.
the people. The people always say, Peyton, you need to play Graveyard Keeper, you need to play Hades 1 and 2. And there's another one that people always throw at me, but those two are definitely big ones. And I think a lot of people have recommended Graveyard Keeper specifically because I like to do long like gameplays, like 100 days of gameplays, and they're like, this is a good one for that because it'll take a little bit to get into it and it'll be a little difficult. And some people are like, you like Echoes of the Plum Grove and there's death and creepiness there, and I'm like, yes, but I just, for whatever reason, I just never got around to it. So I think it's cool. Did we miss it being free? Like, is it still free or did that end?
It's free. I literally just downloaded it. It's free up until today.
Okay, good, great. So they missed it. Yeah. But we didn't. Great, so I'll download it today. I think that's so cool that they're putting the first one for free. As far as the second one goes, the trailer looks great. I wonder, and we've talked about it on the show before, I wonder, like, for game developers, like, when do you decide to just update your game versus making the sequel? And I think I don't know enough about Graveyard Keeper to know why and what's going to be different about the sequel, but I'm hoping that we have some Graveyard Keeper fans who will let us know, like, what is going to be different about this one that we could expect. Like, is this going to be something where you need to play the first one? They're making it free for you to be able to do so. Is this going to be a standalone type thing? I imagine it would be, but will there be, like, lore that you'd benefit from playing the first one? I'm intrigued, curious, excited that this is happening, even though I'm not like in this world. I'm excited that it exists, and the first game's been out for like a hot second now, right?
Yeah, it's been out for a while.
So this is a great way to get more people.
Since 2018.
Oh, geez, so like a while. Okay, so then this is like a great opportunity to get people into the first game too, who maybe like haven't heard about it, or maybe like us have not played it or only played a little bit of it, and it's like, oh, okay, maybe I'll give it another go and see what it's like before this new one comes out. I wonder, like, do you guys think we're not business professionals, but like, do you guys think it makes sense for them to put the game for free, or would it make more sense for them to do like 50% off the first one.
Well, I was just thinking about that very thing. I was just thinking maybe it was really smart for them to put it for free because I saw in several gaming discords that I'm in, people being like, it's free, it's free, it's free. So it's like now people are going to go download it and maybe they're not buying it because they're not making money off that, but maybe they are like wish listing the second one, or maybe they are being like getting into that game and now then they love it and then they'll buy the other one. I don't know. I feel like it was kind of smart because I think we talked about more being free than being 50% off. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think,
Yeah.
Pat?
Yeah, I think it's definitely smart. And you're probably going to see some big sales on this game leading up to the sequel. I don't know if, like, for you guys, I think the new part of this game is like town building, and it looks like there's like tower defense where you're like,
I don't even know what tower defense it means, to be honest. Like you're defending your castle from getting beat up.
exactly. Yeah.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Let me see where it is. On the trailer.
I love the castle getting beat up.
Yeah. So you're like fighting off. Yeah. At the 47-minute mark. Or 47-second mark of the trailer.
I'm like, what? I did not watch a 47-minute trailer.
You can see them like setting up like defenses, and then hordes of, I'm guessing, zombies are like, this definitely is not cozy anymore. I feel like they've added.
Maybe it never really was.
Yeah,
It's cozy anyway.
exactly.
So, do you
Nothing.
like that element, Pat? Because you've been known to say you want that kind of stuff in your games.
I don't like tower defense. I like combat, but I don't. A lot of people like preparing and like crafting these things and whatever, and then basically when the zombies come, it's kind of automated where they like just come into your town and
See if it works.
yeah. I'm not super, hyped about that, but like, who knows? I think it was smart though, putting the first game for free.
Yeah, I mean, the description says this sequel builds on the cult favorite formula, expanding it into a zombie-infested town. Craft, trade, optimize supply chains, manage your graveyard, and yeah, it does sound different. Send undead expeditions to reclaim and revive the city. So I guess it is adding those elements, and it is making it like a zombie apocalypse.
It's interesting.
We have to play our favorite game.
Oh.
How many people do you think are currently at this moment? It's 12:46 on a Monday afternoon. How many people do you think are currently playing Graveyard Keeper on Steam?
It's free right now.
It is free right now.
A little high. I feel like maybe that's too high. Maybe
$7.50.
I think it's higher. I thought it was going to be like 1.5K or something.
You both are way off. A lot more.
12K then?
Whoa.
More than that.
Whoa.
36,938 people are
Wow.
currently playing this game on Steam.
My first guess was going to be 12K, but I'm like, that's way too high. And I
Wow.
heard Pat's guess.
In my brain, I was like, oh, like 1,000 or 2,000 people maybe. But I mean, I didn't look at the full Steam DB report of like the jump since making it free. But
I wonder if they should have just put their game at $1 and just, I
don't think people would want to buy, like, okay, be so for real. If it was $1, would you spend it?
If it was $1 on every platform, well, I already have it on Switch, but
Pretend you
I have a
didn't. You don't
question.
own the game.
I would. I think so.
Answer.
Hello.
Hello.
So my question is, when the games go free on Steam like this,
Yeah.
you get to keep it, right? Or do you have to go back and
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, oh, I'm going to download it now, even if I have zero intention of playing it for like a hot second.
Yeah.
Even if you're like, all right, I'm not going to play it until like the other one is closer to launch. You could still download it now. Well, not when they're listening, but we can at the time of recording, and then you could play it. Like, last week we talked a lot about Pat only playing winter games in the winter. You want to play this one during Halloween? You can download it now.
Get it now. Well, Yeah, let us know your thoughts on Graveyard Keeper in the comments. But it is. Well, hopefully you got it when it was free, because now by the time this is out, it's not. But we have some other news to cover as well, which we mentioned earlier. This is in regards to Star Sand Island, and they made an important announcement in their Discord and on socials that there was a game content adjustment which caused them to take their game off of Steam. We have talked about that before with other games being taken off of Steam. There was like a Roots of Pacha thing with the publisher. There was a Pixel Shire getting off. But
there is a Pixel. It never came back.
There is not Pixel Shire anymore.
I don't think it came back.
But this is another reason that your game might need to be taken off of Steam. So let's just read what they said. They said, due to an oversight during the planning phase, certain core visual elements from a classic title were used without proper authorization within our minigame section. We sincerely apologize for this mistake. To address this immediately, we have taken the following emergency measures. And there's 4 steps that they took. The Steam store status. The Star Sand Island Steam store page has been temporarily delisted. We have already submitted a new game build with the unauthorized content removed to Steam for review. Once the review is complete, the game will be available for purchase and download again. Number 2, compensation. To express our deepest regrets, we'll be providing the Shining Star outfit set to all Islanders as a free DLC released within the next 7 business days. 3, data in progress. Once the new build is approved, you can simply update the game to continue your journey so you don't lose progress. While the unauthorized content will be removed, all your previous game progress, save files, and in-game assets will be fully preserved. You don't need to worry about losing your data. Number 4, internal improvement. We have already begun strengthening our internal review and auditing processes to ensure that such an incident never occurs again. And lastly, we sincerely apologize to all Islanders for any inconvenience this may have caused. Thank you for your patience, understanding, and support. Thoughts on this? Also, I believe the game was Tetris.
I was going to say, I'm looking on Twitter now. I'm like, what are they talking about? And everyone's like, oh, you got copyright stricken by Tetris.
I believe it was a Tetris minigame in the arcade. Did you come across that, Pat? I know you love minigames.
Yeah. Oh, did you? I never went in there.
Yeah, I like the arcade, and I do remember playing and going into the arcade, and there's 2 minigames in it. There's a snake, like, the snake game.
Yeah.
There's a copy
with a
capybara, and then there's it's literally Tetris. It's like.
Does it say Tetris?
It doesn't say Tetris, but it is a block game, and all of the blocks are the same like shape and everything. You turn them. It's literally, and I remember playing it. I was like, oh my god, there's basically Tetris in this game, and like a lot of that stuff is copyright, and you can't add that into your game. Now, I do want to say, I did see that. I wanted to bring this on the show because of this reason. I saw like people were just looking at the headlines and they saw Star Sand Island removed from Steam, and they were like, oh my god, another problematic game. And like, yes, you shouldn't have this in your game. Like, you should know that. But I don't think we should lump this in with some of the other controversies that have come out. I really don't.
With Star Sand or with other games?
Like, Star Sand shouldn't be brought into that same category. Because, like, yes, it was a massive oversight, but this is kind of a perfect response.
Okay, no, this is not. Okay,
this is a great response.
It is. They're really good at doing these great responses.
This is not the first response we've had to have. Yeah. And we didn't even get into it on the show when it happened because there was so much of it happening, and we were like, let's just wait and see. Like, maybe we'll see what happens, because it was like every other day there was some new drama with Star Sand Island.
I saw the reviews, the inflated reviews.
Yeah, so they had this whole, and forgive me if I'm missing out for all the Star Sand Island, the people who are like more in it than me, because I played for like 30 hours and then I haven't been playing at all recently. But what happened was, like, there was a bunch of different things. One thing that was a controversy was they were getting like review bombed, but like with good reviews. So
Yeah.
there were all these like fake accounts that were just like giving positive reviews on Steam. And the developers went and said, this wasn't us. It hurts us as well, because obviously like it makes people question their authenticity. So that happened. There was also controversy with this game was available on Kickstarter, and it was a thing of like the three
they
of
weren't
us got to
getting-
play the game before people who backed it on Kickstarter, which was a whole thing. And then there was like different types of like versions of the game as well. And then like a lot of things in the game were broken. Like if you watched my playthrough of it compared to your two, it was very different. And then there something else? I feel like
I was like looking it up, so I wasn't completely hearing everything you said, but did you mention how there's like this game was basically trademarked or something like that by Kingsoft, which is a humongous corporation in China, and then the game
I don't
is
know that
saying
much
that they're
about
indie?
this. Yeah, I've been hearing people like
They are saying
I mentioned
they're indie?
They are. And
but it's like a big company.
well, it's kind of like I don't know if this is confirmed, but I think Josh did a video where he like looked up who did the back end of like, I don't know if it's trademark or what. I don't know anything about that stuff. So
Speculation, nothing is real.
Yeah. But like you can go in the back end and see who like registered the game and the name and all of this stuff like that. And apparently Kingsoft is actually the one who did that for this game, which means that this game could have, it doesn't like guarantee it, but it could have had a lot more funding than we thought. But then like a few weeks after that was, done by Kingsoft, this game actually throws out like a Kickstarter or something and is trying to get money. And then like things are happening and going wrong, and people are like, well, if Kingsoft is behind any of this, why is this going on? So I think it just causes confusion of like, why would there be Tetris in the game if there's some big company that's actually really behind it? So I think it just causes confusion of like, what is the quality testing? What is this game indie? Is this game not? And like nobody knows. And I'm sure that these game developers have heard people talking about this, but they haven't addressed that. And like, I mean, unless they're just saying, oh, we're indie, but it's very confusing.
And I'm not like discrediting all that, but like, what's the difference between, like us three making a game and getting backed by a very wealthy publisher? Are we not indie anymore?
I think I don't know like where the line is. I think it's something maybe because this game was supposed to launch fully outright in February, and then they switched up and they said actually
stuff is definitely not, you can't defend that.
No, and they decided to do early access, which is whatever, and I don't know if they're still on track to release fully this summer, but I think with that switch up of like, oh, we're going to do early access, I think they've like highlighted multiple times, like, oh, we're a small team. This is our first game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think maybe it's that, and maybe it's like, oh, okay, well, but then if this is a part of something, speculation, not real, in Minecraft, fake, then like you shouldn't say that. Yeah. I think this response, to me is like so obviously like they're not gonna say we used Tetris in the game, but reading this made me think they used AI art. Reading this statement that they did, like, oh, we used asset.
Oh, because you didn't know what it was.
No, I didn't know what it was because I didn't go in the arcade. So reading this statement is like, oh, there are
core visual elements
without proper authorization.
I read that as like the shape of the blocks, because I know that those are copyright.
I didn't know we were talking about arcade games. Like they said mini games, but I was like, what? Like the fishing mini game? Like I didn't know.
And that's why I wanted to bring this up, because people started running with this, and they're like, it's off Steam. they're using AI. They're like, I've heard
That's what I
about
mean. I'm like, oh, this sounds like, oh, did someone like use AI art or did they steal art and like they didn't know because we've seen that before. But no, it's
Tetris.
Not that Tetris isn't important, but I feel like
make your own block game. Like, it's not that tough.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that tough.
Yeah,
but
I think that this was a huge oversight, though. Like,
huge,
how could you not like put that in the game and not think of that? I mean, I don't know. I don't want to be mean, but at the same time,
I couldn't make a game because I would do something stupid. Like, oh, this is like that thing of like. I
hope they add in other games, though. I hope they just don't take it out.
No, of course.
I'm sure they will.
I mean, is this like a thing of like how you'll call chapstick, but chapstick is the brand? And you're like, some people don't know that. Some people are like, oh, chapstick is the brand. I thought chapstick is like just what we call it. So it's like,
this is more like,
can you do?
This
No,
is more
I
like
don't think
creating
so.
your own
But
tube and taking chapstick out and putting it in your own tube.
no, you're right. You're right. I'm just trying to maybe the benefit of the doubt. Like, oh, maybe they don't know what Tetris is. Like,
Welcome to Earth.
I don't even know.
I think at the end of the day, like, because things keep coming up with this game, it makes me feel like, what is going on, you know? I did also look up, and it says that, like, Seed Lab was established through investment from Kingsoft and CSUN Games, but they are independent when it comes to development and publishing. So,
okay,
I don't know. I still feel like maybe there could have been more disclosure on the initial investment. But because other games are like Anna Mulenook are saying, oh, we're indie, but they're actually backed by this huge company that people like what Pat said originally is like it gets lumped into the controversies, although this is a paid game, not free to play, no gacha. And they have done a lot of things well. They have tried to address things maybe almost too much and bringing more attention to it. But there's just been weird things going on with this game that it makes me a little weary. I did like a lot of things about the game, but there were other things that fell flat for me. So I'll still keep my eye on it, and I'm like curious about it. But this is just like a very interesting news story that came out with this game. So let us know what your thoughts are on it. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to touch on with that?
I just looked at... Oh,
but
I was just going to say, I just looked up like some of the trademarks that they have, and one of the points says the company enforces its IP against clones, particularly regarding the look and feel. So that's kind of what they got dinged on.
Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think, it makes sense. Take it out of your game. I think my whole thing with Star Sand Island that I said in the beginning of the show was like, this is another like strike against early access for me. I think I'm like, this is one of those situations where I'm like, okay, I liked the game. I had fun. Like, I played a lot of hours of it. There were a lot of problems, but like I understood that going in. Like I have that understanding of early access, and I was like, okay. This one, there's just been so much.
It's a lot.
And it's a lot to like ask people to pay for it. Like, and also it just like sucks when it's like, hopefully they're able to solve this issue like rather quickly, because we've seen this situation before with like the dispute of the publisher and the developer with Roots of Pacha. They were off Steam for only a short amount of time. I think it was like a week. So they were able to like, get back in there. But then on the other hand, something like Pixelshire, which I did just look up to confirm, is still off of Steam. It's been like many months because of the dispute they had. People paid for that game. You can still play it if you own it, but it can't get updated. As far as I know, it can't get updated if it's not on Steam. So hopefully, for the sake of the Star Sand Island enjoyers, because I know we have quite a few in our midst, hopefully that they're able to get this solved so they can continue to work on the
already.
Oh, it's back up? Oh, then
I think it was
what
pretty
the
quick.
hell am I talking about?
Oopsie, I forgot to mention that. But
wait,
yeah,
how?
I think,
Okay.
Oh, because
me
I
look
feel
it up.
like I looked and it wasn't up.
Oh, let's look.
Well, really? I thought it was like, oh my gosh, it's not. It's just a DLC.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought this was a quick turnaround. Like,
No.
oh, it's off. Oh my gosh.
When did this happen? Do we know when they tweeted this?
Yeah, but
This
the
3
thing
days
is, like,
ago.
they said 7 business days, and that's coming. That's already
I mean, when a
Yeah.
big company like
Coming
that
up.
brings the hammer down, like, yeah, you take your game off and you fix it.
yeah.
Oh, I
Well,
think that was the right decision. Like, let's
Yeah.
stop. Everybody stop.
Cut that out,
Let's
cut that-
fix it. Cut that out. That's what we say sometimes. But yeah, hopefully for the players who have been, you know, along the early access train for this game, hopefully they get this solved so they can keep working on the game, keep updating it. Because I would hate for it to be another situation of I supported this game in early access, and then stuff happened, and now what am I doing? You know, hate when that happens.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I remember when Roots Apache got taken off Steam. That was my very first experience ever having that. And I was really invested in the game. I already bought the game and I was streaming the game. And I'm like, you know what? This was a bad idea because people kept coming in and be like, what is this game? How can I get this game? And I'm like, oh, it's not on Steam right now. Then you have to explain that controversy. So I can see how this could take a hit to people who were making content about the game and like keeping people updated on it, and then now like, oh, I'm not gonna play it because nobody new can get it right now. But it also takes a hit to like anyone new who did want to buy it can't buy it, or they were saving up for their paycheck and now Friday passed and they wanted to buy it, and like maybe they bought something else, you know. So even those little things can probably mess with the sales. But hopefully by
Yeah.
the time the episode is out that you guys are listening to this, it came back. But we'll see. Now we have another fun story. This game was actually at PAX East. It's called Village in the Shade, but they were just like handing out a flyer like, "Hey, this game is coming out." Which is what Josh's gaming garden told me because he said, "Look at this flyer." That's all they really had at the booth. But if you look at the trailer on Steam for Village in the Shade, it's really exciting. It looks really good. It is a quiet countryside game that takes place in a Japanese village, and it's a farming sim, but it just looks so cool. And right now on Steam it says it's going to be coming out July 29th, 2026, but it also says English language is not supported. So I'm curious about that because I've heard rumors that it's going to be, English is going to be supported. It's going to be at the time that it comes out, like available on, I've heard like Switch and consoles and stuff. So what are our thoughts on this game? I think it looks really, really cool myself, and I'm like excited about it. But what about you, Peyton?
This is my first time seeing it. I didn't look at what we were talking about before we were talking about it today. I'm mixed about it because there's like some screenshots I like love. I think it looks so cool. Like specifically the fall the autumny screenshot with like the red leaves looks so good.
Yeah.
It's such a drastic angle though.
It is a very drastic angle.
Almost mobile gamey.
Yeah. Which like I feel like sometimes I like the top angle like this. This one it feels like it's very pointed down. So I would have to see like what it feels like to walk around in the world, but it does look really cool. Like I like how the character portraits look. I like how the world looks otherwise. And yeah, I definitely would keep my eye on this. I didn't get one of those flyers at PAX. I don't know
Me
where I
either.
was during that either, but it looks really cool. And yeah, even if they don't support English right away, I might just have to see other people play it for a little bit and like see what the gameplay is like and just I don't know, keep my eye on it. But what do you guys think?
Yeah, the angle is kind of crazy. So they made this other game, Yamawari, or I think it's actually a series.
I don't know about it.
And it
Is it
looks
under NIS America?
yeah,
NIS America, whatever.
Yep.
Okay.
It says in the beginning of the trailer too, from the makers of the Yamawari series. Now, here's the interesting thing: that series is horror.
Oh, I see it.
Same art style and horror. And on the Steam listing, it says just make sure you follow the rules or else. Is there going to be like horror elements?
For Village in the Shade, it says that.
Yeah.
Oh, hot. Okay, are we gonna have
let's look at the tag.
murder?
Yeah. Like,
Does it say horror?
Yes.
It's a Oh,
It
does
says
it?
horror?
The tags: adventure simulation, farming sim, exploration, 2D, anime, cute, third person, controller, crafting, horror.
Let's go.
It's like the
Oh.
last one.
I'm
Okay.
So
Says,
yeah.
let's go to that. Well, I feel like this is not portraying on Steam right now that that's what this might have, and I feel like you should want to know that. You have to
Okay,
dig
wait.
for
Wait.
it.
Did you watch the end of the trailer? What is that like jump scare at the end of the trailer? There's like a character with a
Let me see.
flashlight, and then there's like a giant creature that pops up
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
right at the end. Right at the end.
Yeah.
It's like cute
It
farming
doesn't,
sim.
scare me though. I feel like I could miss.
So we got a whole
No,
new
I like
Grave
it, but-
Seasons
Yeah.
Village in the Shade genre coming out.
You're like, what?
Let's go! I'm pumped. Okay, well, actually, if we're gonna say, I mean, like Bloomtown, A Different Story is very
Yeah.
this vibe as
Yeah.
well, which I love. I love that it's. Why is it? We're testing the limits of when we could play each game because it's gonna be Halloween this summer with this game and with Grave Seasons.
Yeah.
Halloween in the summer, baby. We're gonna play Graveyard Keeper as well. It's gonna be great.
I think this art style is really nice though. And like I do kind of remember the Yomawari series and not really wanting to play it because I don't typically play horror
You were
games.
scared.
I was scared.
You're scared?
Yeah. So like this has some farming and cute cows and stuff, but I do kind of agree with Min. It like seeing this game, and besides the end of the trailer, like some people are probably going to see this game and be like, "Oh my god, this is adorable," and then
Oops.
lose their minds. But I'm excited
Yeah.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the character portraits a lot, and I love the cute cow a lot.
It's a cute cow.
Or else.
Yeah,
It's
like I
crazy.
love that cow a lot. But yeah, let us know what you guys think. Maybe there is more information on this that we don't know, and maybe they'll update the Steam page to give us even more details because, I'm sure most people come across this and see English language not supported, but like as it gets more in development, I mean, a few months away, I guess, like maybe that will change. I don't know, but
Yeah.
all right, we have one last thing for this section of the podcast to go through, and it is the Whale and Dolphin Conservation Charity Bundle, which has a bunch of cozy games in it, and this is on Fanatical, so we will link that in the show notes. There has been $40,000 donated so far, so this supports a good cause, but we're going to go through and just say, okay, what games would we pick if we were to get this bundle? Let me just see how many you can get.
Yeah, I was
Well,
gonna
you
say, how
get
many do
all
we get?
11.
Oh, you get all 11
Oh,
games?
Never mind.
Yeah.
Guys,
Oh, that's
you
so
get all
nice.
of it.
Yeah.
I thought it was one of those like pick your bundle.
Nope. 11
No,
games
okay.
for at least you can do $6.99 has to be the minimum donation, but you can do more if you want.
Wow. Okay.
Damn.
Sorry about that. Well, it's okay. This is what's in it. Lottle Knot, which we've talked about before. It's like an underwater, kind of cleaning simulator. Mudborn, which is a frog like breeding game. We Were Here Expeditions, the friendship I've never heard of,
Yeah, I'm not
but
familiar
that
with that.
Me neither.
is think you and your bestie can take on any challenge together. We'll see you try. So it's sounds like it's a co-op type of a game. And then we have Planet Coaster, which I feel like is a pat game. Is that like a
I've never played it, but I'm assuming it's like a roller coaster tycoon.
It's probably because I know
Yeah,
the
it says-
Planet Zoo one that they
Ah.
also make is the same kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a building a theme park game. We also have Sustainable Civilizations Imagine Earth. This is a real-time planet simulation and build-up strategy game. So some games that are
Oh.
like mixed with the cozy games that maybe we haven't really played or heard of, but would be cool to get in this bundle. Also, Apico, which is that it's the same developer as Mudborn,
Mhm.
which is also in this, but it's beekeeping, breeding, collecting, and conserving bees. Beyond Blue is also a part of this, and that is
This
a
is like
single-
Endless Ocean. Is this?
Looks like
it's
it.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, explore the ocean through the eyes of Mirai, a deep sea explorer and scientist. So maybe a little more to it than Endless Ocean, though. The Tenants, which I thought that's not new, is it? But I don't know. I've heard a lot about that one. But this one is decide which tenants you want to make business with. React to various situations. You never know what's gonna happen. Annoyed neighbors, problematic tenants. It sounds very fun. It's the sandbox, casual building game, life sim. Mythic Ocean, which is what would you do if your friends were with the gods and your influence on them could change the universe? Mythic Ocean
Ooh.
is an atmospheric and charming adventure where you'll befriend a pantheon of gods under the sea. So I've never heard of that one either.
That one's cool. It's like
And
a
then we
visual
have-
novel.
Oh, okay. We have a scary one called Don't Be Afraid.
Why is that in this bundle?
I don't know.
It
The-
looks absolutely terrifying.
The
It is.
description is insane.
It's horrible.
I don't
You've
even want to
been
read
kidnapped by a
it. All right,
person. Yeah, go read it yourself.
Yeah.
that's a little intense, yeah.
I don't
So
like
that's-
it.
Not cozy. And then Summer House, which is a very cozy game. It's a small scale building game and a love letter to the feeling of long lost summer afternoons. You craft a neighborhood of tiny, beautiful, lived in homes in a variety of settings: the sea, the city, or the mountains. So I think it gives a good mix of like ocean games that go with the theme and then like some games that aren't so cozy. So maybe you can give those keys away to somebody. But kind
I
of a
just
weird
want to
mix.
know why
after
they
we-
added that one game.
I don't
wanted,
know
like,
why.
Why? Maybe there's like some environmental twist in it, but it sticks out, man.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like the same publisher as one of the other games or something.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, from my experience, I've played 2 of these games. I played Lot and Epico. Honestly, if this was $6.99 for Lot, I would say it's worth it. Like, this is a crazy bundle, and it's for a good
Yeah.
cause.
Because Laudonaut is originally like $20. So
yeah.
and the Planet Coaster game retails for $45. You can get it for $6.99
Oh.
in this bundle. That's insane.
Yeah.
Are you getting it? Would you buy this?
I think I'm gonna buy it. Yeah, because Beyond Blue looks cool. A lot of people tell me to play Planet Coaster, and I've never played Summer House. I don't think so. That alone is enough, and then I'll give the others away.
Yeah, I already
Yeah.
own Mudbourne. I've never played a Pico. I loved Laudonaut. I would have to give some of the keys away because I don't really play the co-op games. The Tenants sound really good, and Summer House sounds really good. But other than that, I don't know how much I'd actually play some of these. But
Yeah.
it's cool to get this in return for like supporting a good cause.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
think this is an awesome idea.
I love like things like this. I think I only have Laudonaut, which I agree is worth it just for that alone. But I have played the demo for Summer House, which I think is super fun. I've been wanting to play Mudbourne and a Pico. I think that one Mythic Ocean. I think that like, yeah, what you only have to pay $6.99, but you can donate more if you want.
Mm-hmm.
I love
Mhm.
things like this. Like I have done a couple years, like Make-A-Wish Foundation does something like this too, where it's like there are these game bundles that they'll put together, and then it's like, oh well, if you donate like $30, you get all of these games, and it's great because like you're paying for the game, but you're donating to charity, but then you get these like cool bundles of games. So I'm yes-anding to all of these things, except for maybe that really scary one.
Yeah.
That one's not for me. I like scary, but like, girl, what?
Yeah.
I'm good.
That one was like almost a triggering like.
Yeah, I'm like, we let's not
Dark.
even discuss it. Like,
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
move. Ah.
But I
Yeah.
think this is up for like another 2 weeks. So you should
Till
be good.
16 days.
Yeah.
So at the time of this. So we'll put it in the show notes, but let us know what you guys think. Have you picked it up? Are you picking it up? Is this the first time hearing about it? But yeah, so that is our Patreon discussion and cozy game news. And we will be ending it here, but we have exciting stuff coming up because we are interviewing the developer of Shanty Town, who we talked about a lot last episode. So tune in for that after this break.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back in. We are joined by Eric, one of the developers at Shanty Town. Eric, how's it going?
It's going well, thank you.
Yeah, so today we're talking about Shanty Town, which is an upcoming cozy game coming out the 16th. So by the time you listen to this, it's close to being out if you keep up with the episodes. So I'm just going to read the description and then we'll go in deeper into Shanty Town. So Shanty Town is a relaxing diorama building game about finding beauty in everyday chaos. Bring new locations to life, stack your urban buildings high, and fill each little nook and cranny with your own touch. Try your hand at shaping a cozy little city that is unique to you. And again, it's coming out soon. Min and I actually were able to play it at PAX East.
Yeah.
And I stood behind them and I watched them play it. So I was there too.
So Eric, for everyone that doesn't know about Shantytown, like what's the concept of the game? What can you expect? It's coming out soon.
Yeah, so basically the idea is as a player, you kind of like put out objects one at a time and you create this dense little urban diorama. So it's really compact spaces compared to some other games. And you really get into some details. So, but you're just putting out like houses and then doors and windows and potted plants and vending machines and that type of thing. And in the end, you're trying to create something that's a little bit beautiful.
Yeah. Did you have like cozy game in mind when you created this, or did that kind of just become like that's kind of the thing now and this kind of fit into that?
It's a good question. Actually, I did have cozy game in mind, but I think my understanding of what cozy games were wasn't what was expected, because you guys are cozy game experts, so you know probably more than me. But in my mind, a cozy game was something that kind of doesn't have no time limits, it doesn't have any wrong answers, and it doesn't have like you can do whatever you want and everything's fine, right? There's no punishment. But what I didn't take into account was like the aesthetic. I think there's a very cozy game aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was first developing Shantytown, it had a much darker, like cyberpunk aesthetic, and I think there was a big clash between like what people expected out of the game. Like, oh, this is a cozy game, but it didn't look like one. So I think I had to go through some like development redesigns to match like the cozy audience.
That's so interesting to feel like it had a much darker vibe. Do you, I mean, I'm sure you probably like the direction that it went in, but was that also a little bit of like you wanting to have it feel and look a certain way? Or was it mainly just like, I think people will like this better versus what I was originally going for?
I think it just didn't catch eyes. Actually, I don't think I sacrificed too much or anything really. I think I found a really good middle ground of like really good looking, but also like you can see there's a little darkness somewhere
Mm-hmm.
in there, but it's not, I mean, it's not like Animal Crossing, but yeah, it, I think I found a good middle ground right there.
I think cozy gamers like that because, like, yeah, we have our
Yeah.
Animal Crossing and our Stardew, but like then you have Peyton who's playing Cult of the Lamb, which is like
I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
yeah.
I'm like, I love the dark. What do you mean?
yeah. So I'm always interested as a player because I know nothing about game development. Like, when was the inspiration for Shantytown, and like when did development start, or like the idea start?
It was about exactly 3 years ago.
Oh wow, okay.
So,
Huh.
I just finished my previous game, Ainga Seeds of Civilization, which is like a roguelite village building game. And I wanted to create a new game and I wanted to make something more simple. So that game had a lot of complex interactions like between, it's like an RTS, but a roguelite also. So it has a lot of like spinning gears. And I wanted to make something a little bit more simple. And the original plan was like, okay, I'm going to do like a 1 year project. I'm going to make something that you can build, something creative. And that's where I came up with Shantytown. And I always knew that I wanted like these really confined spaces, and I wanted to build, I wanted the player to build urban diorama. So I looked at like Tiny Glade, and that was a big inspiration because I I really like Tiny Glade as a concept, and I love architecture. So, and I wanted to do like an urban architecture version of Tiny Glade. Basically, it was how it started.
I love that because when we were that PAX and we were seeing the game, that's what we said. We're like, it's kind of like Tiny Glade, but like more buildings and different. So I think that's so cool to hear that that was actually kind of an inspiration.
Yeah, but I did kind of move past that quite quickly because Tiny Glade I really liked, and it's beautiful. I mean, it's incredible. But after like 15 minutes, I was kind of like, well, like, what am I supposed to do? What should I? The game wasn't like pulling me in any direction. That's why they have those like daily build suggestions or something. It's like, oh, make a chocolate factory or something like that. But I wanted a game that guided you a little bit more, that kind of said like,
Yeah.
okay, do this. So, and I went through some like design iterations to try to figure out how to guide the player without telling them what to do exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was one of the design goals. It's like, how can I take Tiny Glade's thing and how can I improve it? Because I did see a lot of the negative reviews and stuff of people saying like, yeah, it's fun, but it's kind of more of a toy than a game. So I wanted to make a game intentionally.
Yeah. I could definitely see that you added that kind of like, detail to it. And I also like that you have like, okay, you have this area and then you finish that and you move on to the next one. Because then, for those people who want a sense of like completion to a game, there is that. And we talked about your game a lot on our last episode too. And I was asking if there was like a sandbox mode. Pat, I think, said there is. Is there or
Yeah.
yeah?
There is, yeah. There's a
Yeah.
creative mode. So when you play the story mode, you unlock a couple of the objects, and then you can play any of those locations in the creative mode. There's also like a blank slate area where you can just mess around indefinitely. I should probably put some limits on it, but I don't have limits yet, so enjoy it while it lasts.
Oh my gosh.
But it's been
So it
really
really
cool to
has
see
a
what
bit of
people come up
everything.
with. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
It wasn't
Oh yeah.
It
Go
wasn't
ahead.
always that way though. Like it didn't always have that story mode. Originally it was just kind of like a single spot and you build and you got random items and you put them out. But the builds that people were making were kind of like crazy, I guess, because it was giving you like
Oh.
random objects. So there'd be like, a coffee shop with like 20 air conditionings on it. And it was more like players were just like sorting. They're like, okay, this is where all the chairs go, and this is where all the like vending machines go, and it didn't really work. So I had to come up with a new system, which was that the game was like giving you specific items instead. That's how the levels came to try to give out those items incrementally. Like, okay, this level will give you like some simple stuff, and then later you get something a little bit more complex, and so on.
Yeah.
I think there's
Yeah.
something very like calming about that. I don't know if you've ever played Garden Galaxy, but Garden Galaxy is another decorating game that I love, and it is like that where it gives you random items, but like half the time I'm just like putting them in the corner because I'm like, oh, I don't want to use this yet. So there is something that's nice about, I mean, if you want to have a coffee shop with 500 million air conditioners, you can. But I think there's something, I don't know, like to me, I love having like being told what to do a little bit, but also having the freedom of doing what I want. So I think that's great that you're giving the option to players to kind of choose how they want to interact with your game. I think that's
Yeah.
something cozy gamers really like, or at least I do.
Yeah, and I had to strike a balance with that as well. So there was an earlier version of the game where, so right now, people who don't know, there's like you place buildings, and then the buildings are looking for services, which is like lights, utility, and decor. You like, okay, you put a potted plant next to it, you satisfy one of those services, and if you satisfy all of them that they're looking for, then they upgrade. But before, you used to each object would get points from being next to other objects it wanted to be next to. So for example, a chair would want to be next to a table, and like a window would want to be next to a door, and so on. And then it just got really complicated as there was more and more objects, and then people were just kind of like scanning the area, like holding something, like, okay, where does it give me the highest number, and then I'll put it there. Then at that point, like the game was telling you where to put stuff. And I think now it's much better. it's right in the middle of like it guides you to put things in a certain place, but you still feel the freedom uh, to say no and to like find a better place for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a unique
Yeah.
thing in Shanty Town. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think I'm going insane, but like you can go into first person view and like see your whole world. Was that something that was like an original thing, or was that something that was added afterwards?
It was just community people bugging me, like, "Oh, I really want to walk around." It's like, yeah, okay, fine. But yeah, it wasn't originally planned, but I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
I don't the proportions are not 100% believable, but it's good enough, really, because you can see everything from
Yeah.
a different perspective.
That's so cool.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. We got to talk about PAX. We're all fans of PAX, and Shantytown was a part of something called PAX Rising, and I feel like we all still don't completely understand what PAX
Like,
Rising
how
is.
do you get in that? Yeah.
Did they approach you, or did you apply?
What even
or-
is it, really?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, it's like I don't
Tell us.
actually,
Tell
I
us.
don't know. I think well, I applied to PAX Rising, and basically you kind of pitch your game, and most conventions have this thing where you can pitch a game, and they'll pick the ones that they like the most, and then they'll host those like in the center. It was a really nice location, right in the middle, and they gave us, free printing and a little table and all of that, and a big screen, which is really nice. Um, but yeah, other shows do something similar. It was pretty cool, and I got no complaints. It was awesome.
Yeah, that must feel really good to be chosen for that out of all of the games that apply. Like, that's a huge deal.
So
That's
close
so
to
cool.
release too. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, I was really actually that's the reason why I went. I was not gonna go otherwise because I do live so far away
Mhm.
that I. But then they were like, "Yeah, welcome to PAX Rising." It's like, "Oh, absolutely, I'm gonna go."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So they give you this space that's kind of like in the middle where all of the like we were talking about when we were talking about it last week on the show. One of the things we were saying is like, "Oh my god, the convention floor is like giant and it's really easy to miss things." But this area where they have the PAX Rising, where they have all of these little tables for these games, I think is such a nice way to be like, this is the place to go if you want to play the games. Did you get to explore the other tables at all? Did you get to play any of the games around you, any of your neighbors?
I did play. I think I played most of my little neighbors in PAX Rising, and then I did wander around quite a bit. And played some other games here and there.
Were
This
there
time
any
the show was
standouts?
um the one across from me was pretty cool. It was like a Zelda like a 3D platformer type thing.
Mhm.
Can't remember the name. But there were some good games. It's kind of intimidating because games are getting really good these days, and
Mhm.
like the tools to make high quality stuff is getting easier and easier. So I really you gotta push the limits to make sure you stand out.
Yeah. Speaking of that, how did you originally get into game development and like how did you start with that
Mm,
doing this?
it's a bit weird, actually. I went to university or college for biology, like ecology, so like totally unrelated. And I've had a lot of weird jobs. I just started making. I used to mod games when I was a kid, like RPGs, and I used to mod like Half-Life and Morrowind and stuff like that.
Mm.
But then I hadn't done it in about 10 years or so. And I was working at a pretty. I also have a bit of an art background, so I worked as like a professional watercolor for a little while.
Oh, wow.
That's
Um,
so cool.
making flashcards for Montessori schools, but
Oh.
it, I was working at the time at a marketing company, and I really hated it. I was good at it, but I really hated it, and I wanted a way out. So I started building this game in my kind of my free time, whatever free time I had, and it started getting picked up on Twitter. Back when Twitter was cool, and then I got a publisher. This is for my previous game, Kainga Seeds of Civilization, and then it kind of snowballed from there. right at COVID, so it was great. It was before that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, yeah. Um, and then after that, I mean, this is definitely my calling. This is like a perfect mix of um, like really complex things and then art as well. So
Yeah.
I love like bouncing around between stuff like that. So if I'm doing some programming and then I'm really hitting a wall or something, like it's like, oh, let's just do some art, or let's make a water shader or something.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to go back to PAX a little bit because I wanted to hear about like kind of like what you saw with your game. Like you have the crazy opportunity where like hundreds or thousands of people are coming up. Like, was there anything that maybe you had to like run back and change after, or was there anything like you noticed about the way players were playing, or was it more for like just promotion, or were you looking for any feedback? I mean, it's close to launch, so.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty late. Like usually when I go to a show, I'm looking for feedback and looking for issues people run into and stuff like that. There are still some minor things that I noticed, but for the most part, I'm just letting people enjoy the game this time at PAX,
Mm-hmm.
which was really nice. But I was at Gamescom in Germany in August, and at that time I was really looking for feedback, and a lot of people played it, and at that time I was like, okay, I gotta change this, like in the evenings and stuff. But this
Mm-hmm.
time, it was just a couple weeks before launch, and the game's in a really good place, so
Mm-hmm.
it was much more chill and just kind of had fun, like do interviews and things. It was cool. Really more relaxed.
Yeah,
I'm
that's awesome.
curious about how like I always wonder like wish listing things, wish listing games. I'm sure going to something like PAX and being a part of it, you probably saw an increase in wish lists. Can you tell us more about like how that benefits game developers? Because we wonder on the show like, are we helping by wish listing? Is it doing anything? Is it a good thing? Should everybody be wish listing? Probably.
I mean, yeah, I would say yeah. It's good because number go up is good in general, but and like Steam is just a big machine, right? It's run on algorithms and stuff like that. So basically, the way it works behind the scenes is the more excitement that Steam sees in the game, the more they'll show the game to more people, and that kind of creates more excitement in itself.
Mm.
So you really want to get that snowball rolling quickly, so that Steam picks up on it and just shows it to more people. So it's a show like PAX. I handed out like 400 postcards and like 600 other business cards and stuff like that to just people coming by, and we got a lot of wish lists. I think because of that, but also because of like a Steam promotion. Just being at PAX, you get part of a showcase, digital showcase as well, which is which
Oh,
is almost um, as worth it as going. And
that's so
yeah, so
cool.
and the wish lists are super important for a developer, especially a solo developer like myself. Like it's hard to get the reach out there and to get people uh, or to be loud enough so that enough people see and compete. So I can compete with even the double A games or anything like that. Um, but it does help a lot. And of course, Steam also picks up on whether your wish lists actually convert. So just getting a bunch of
Mm.
like fake wish lists or like wish lists from people who don't have the correct intention to purchase can be harmful as well. So I would say, wish list the games that you are most interested in. And Steam will give you games that are similar to the ones you're wish listing, right? So if you uh, wish list what's interesting, like be true to your heart.
uh,
Love it.
we always like wonder about the publishing side of things. We still have no idea. Like we hear terrible stories of publishers, we hear great stories of publishers. Have you used the same one, or is it like what has been your experience with it, and what's basically the role of like why do we all need them basically?
Um, so this is like a super complicated question, and I have like gone through all the experiences. So I did have a previous publisher that was not very good.
Mhm.
So my last game I actually did not make any money from it at all. Um,
No.
and that's why I jumped into Shanty Town immediately after development. It's like, okay, I need to start something and do it quick, which is why I wanted to make a smaller game, which turned out to be a 3-year project. But anyways, the reason why people get publishers is because usually if you're a small team or a solo developer, like there's a lot of tasks that you cannot do or that you don't want to do or you're not good at. And that's usually the marketing tasks. Um, because you're wearing so many hats already. And I come from a marketing background, so I'm actually not bad at it. And I knew at this time, actually, with Shanty Town, I was not intending to get a publisher. I wanted to do the whole thing by myself, self-published. And I actually, another reason why people would get a publisher is for funding, right? So I got funding from a different source. I got government funding from the German government, and that allowed me to create the game and then make it as big as it is. And then about like 70% of the way through development. So it's a little bit more backstory, but some of the biggest steps in a game's life is Steam's Next Fest. That's where you get the most wish lists, and like most people are talking about it. And you want to enter Steam Next Fest with as many wish lists as possible. So I signed up for the June one in 2025, and I backed out at the last minute because I thought the game wasn't ready, and the demo was out there, but nobody was playing it, and I just didn't have the wishlist numbers to start. And then I signed up for the October one, and I backed out again because I thought it just wasn't ready. And I got a huge hit with Tiny Teams, which is like a promotion of a showcase of games that are made by Tiny Teams. And I kind of thought that I had peaked like that. I tried all I could, and I reached as many people as I could. And I was kind of like, the game needs a little bit more kick, and I'm not able to actually give it. So I signed with the publisher after that. And they have been absolutely incredible. So I know that there's definitely some bad publishers out there. And I think it's so easy to like cheat indie devs out of like their dream because they're so like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, right? But there's some really good publishers out there too, and my publisher has absolutely crushed it. So they've been making tons of content, tons of videos, and my wish lists have gone up like 10 times since then. So it's been a huge it's been well worth it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it not always is, but you have to be careful and clever, I guess.
Yeah. It's crazy to hear about the first game though, not getting the return on however long you spent on it. I'm wondering, like, as a solo developer, as a small team, how do you keep like a positive mindset like going into your next project? Like you said, you started Shanty Town because you're like, I got to dive into something else. How do you keep that mindset of like not worrying about like all these other like big games and knowing like, okay, I'm a small team, but like I'm gonna do it?
Well, my first game actually was pretty successful for a first game. Like it was the first game I ever made. It wasn't like just my first commercial game. It was like the first try at game dev, which is pretty rare. And I saw like people were absolutely clamoring for the game. It was pretty impressive. And the publisher itself, they did pay me to make the game, so it wasn't like a total loss. So I did get paid for like 2 years. I just didn't do anything after that. But yeah, wait, what was the question?
Just like how do you like keep positive like from situations like that and like help you dive into like your next project and knowing that you are a small solo developer? How do you not like get overwhelmed by like the big games?
I think there's just so much positivity in the indie space. Like the people who play indie games just absolutely love it. And there's always going to be the big games. And actually, I think the big games are getting worse, and people are kind of seeing that, and they're kind of branching out to other stuff. But AA games are actually getting higher quality as well. So there's like there's plenty of space for all of us. There is kind of like a bit of a lot of developers like, oh, there's too many games. Every year there's more games that come out on Steam. So you're competing with all those new games as well as all the old games that have already come out. So it's really it is quite daunting to like look at that and say, yeah, how do I fit in to all of this? But I think my goal is to make something unique in both like visually and experience wise. And if you accomplish that, then um, then there's always space. It doesn't. I mean, it has to be good too, actually.
Yeah.
Like, because you can't just, if you mix coffee and I don't know pistachio, doesn't mean everyone's gonna buy it. Actually, that does sound pretty
Doesn't sound
good.
bad.
I will. I was glad. I'm like,
Not
oh,
too
I will
bad.
buy it.
Yeah, I'm
But,
seeing
yeah.
that a lot too with like, battle passes and,
Mhm.
crazy DLC. Like people are definitely going back to indie games. They're just good times. Speaking of DLC, not that you have DLC, but speaking of DLC, like have you thought at all about post-launch, or is it all like, all right, let's get this game out there? Is there going to be updates, or is this a game that's going to be kind of complete?
I kind of designed it so that it wouldn't need anything else, like as a complete package. I
Yep.
was actually gonna cut some stuff and put it on later,
Mhm.
but I didn't. I was like, whatever, just let them have it. And then I do have an idea for. So early in development, I had a plan to create like multiple regions. So there's actually going to be three. There was like a swamp region, a mountain region, and like a city urban region. But I cut the city out and then put the others two into one. So I do have a plan for like the possibility of going to other areas. I'd like to explore like other architecture styles. So the Shanty Town right now is very Asian inspired, like East Asian inspired, and although it has a lot of color that's inspired by like Brazil and Latin America. But I think it could be cool to do like different architecture styles, like maybe Cuban or like Italian or like Santorini or stuff like that. So I think if I create like maybe like pocket areas that you can go to and visit later. If the game launch goes well, then I think people will ask for it. So I'll have to do it.
Mhm.
Yeah, that'd be great. You don't really see a lot of those areas like represented, especially in like these style sandbox games. So okay, it's coming out on Steam. Any thoughts at all on like a console release? I know if you're listening, if you haven't played the game, it is like definitely a game you want to play on PC. But then we also have Switch 2, which has a mouse. So it's like, have you thought about console at all, or is this something like if it does well, we'll kind of go from
Absolutely. Like actually, it does work on a controller.
there?
Um, and it works on Steam Deck. So
Nice.
consoles are
Bet.
in the works. I'm talking to Xbox and PlayStation right now.
Nice.
Nintendo, I cannot get a hold of, but we'll
Well.
see. I'd love to see it on console. It's actually one of my goals for the previous game that never came to fruition. But now that this game Shantytown has full controller support, um, I think it's basically a shoe-in. I'd love to see it happen. So
Yeah.
it'll happen, but not on launch.
Mm-hmm.
We tried to make it work on launch, but um, it's just too much, like pulling energy in different directions, So we had to. My publisher is like, okay, don't worry about it. We'll do it later. So we're focusing on the launch right now, and then consoles will come soon because I think people enjoy it, especially on handhelds.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really relaxing type of like, oh, I can jump in for 30 minutes and then jump out.
Mhm.
Yeah. And the demo the demo at PAX was a controller. I don't know why I said mouse and it was
Oh,
a
it was mouse and
It
keyboard.
was mouse and
Oh,
keyboard.
it was? Okay, I'm just going insane then.
It's all
We
blurring
played too many
together.
games.
We really did, yeah. That's awesome though, yeah, because whenever we talk about a lot of games and people are like, I'll get it when it comes to PS5 or like whatever.
Yeah.
So that's exciting to hear. Yeah.
Actually, my push right now has been for Mac. It's like a lot of people at PAX
Mm-hmm.
say like, oh, this looks really great, but I only have Mac and
Yep.
Switch. And the like percentage of players who use Mac on Steam are extremely low. It's like less than 1%.
Oh,
So
wow.
the like conventional wisdom is like, oh, don't worry about Mac. Like whatever. But
Mhm.
most of the players on Steam are playing like Counter-Strike, So
Mhm.
I think cozy players generally tend to have are more likely to have a Mac. So I think I was really pushing for that. So we'll see. We'll see if my hypothesis is correct and see if I get a lot of Mac players.
Yeah,
You would
yeah,
get me. You would get me because I have a PC, but I love to be in not sitting at this PC, cozy in bed. I have a MacBook, and I always get so bummed like scrolling through my Steam library and just seeing like the red like not compatible, and I'm like, no, like we're
Mhm.
out there. So that's awesome that you're prioritizing trying to get that
Yeah.
happening.
The hard part is that you have to build the game on a Mac to make a playable version for Mac, and I don't
Mm.
have a Mac, so I have to like send it to my brother, and he has to put it together when he has time. But,
Damn.
we got it working, so hopefully it works on launch. I just have to figure some things out.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we hear that a lot of like, as creators being like, is this game on Switch? Is this game on Mac? Is this game? And I feel like probably as the dev, you're like, oh my gosh, I want you to be able to play it. I want it to be on console. I want it to be on Mac because somebody wants to play your game. You want them to. So it's just the
Yeah.
process to get there is more than what, a lot of the players might realize. So
Yeah. I also get some people saying they want it on mobile, but sorry, that's not gonna
yeah,
happen.
That would
that's a
be
whole
That
different thing.
seems
very.
tough.
I don't
Yeah.
think I would want to play it on mobile. I want to see like the big screen. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So anyone that's interested in Shantytown, it does come out the 16th. Do you have any words for the people? Like what can they expect with this game? I know we talked a little bit about it. So
Yeah. Um, I'm pretty excited for the whole thing to be in people's hands.
Mhm.
So basically, the game you travel, like you mentioned before, you travel from location to location. And I spent a lot of time kind of creating each one of those, or making each one of those locations unique in both a lore sense or like a world sense, and then also a play style sense. So there's always something that kind of catches you off guard or something that's unique mechanically. For example, like some of the locations you'll like build out like stilted platforms first, and then you can build on top of that. Some locations are actually on the backs of animals, so it's like shaking around,
Mm.
and you have
Oh
to
my
like
gosh.
build
I
on there,
love
and
that.
all your lanterns are shaking. It's pretty cool. There's one on a boat, and the architecture actually changes as you go along as well. And there's a bit of a story, but it's kind of a non-intrusive story as well. Um, that as you finish the game, you kind of figure out what your real purpose is there and what
Mhm.
like why you were sent to this place to come and take pictures of these little places. Um, I did. I had trouble with that development for a while, like creating a story that's compelling for a game like this, because I don't know, like actually, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Um, but because people are like, well, I'm building like I'm an engineer or something like that, and the game actually started out as that way, like you're like a planner or a landlord. So you were putting down houses and buying things to upgrade these houses, and then getting rent and paying taxes and stuff like that. And it just didn't feel very good at all. It felt like, spreadsheet management and I mean, you don't want a game where you pay taxes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I changed that to like a point system, and that was a little bit better, but then it felt a little bit ambiguous of like, I just want to maximize my score, and that's not cozy either. So that was kind of going against the vibes. And I landed on this. But then the whole time I was like, okay, you're gonna travel to different locations and like see different stuff, and I knew that was gonna be a part of the game, but I couldn't figure out a way to like pull it all together,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I played this game called Cloud Gardens. I don't know if you guys have played that.
It
It's like
sounds
a
Oh
very familiar.
no.
post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, it
It's like a
sounds familiar.
post-apocalyptic cozy game, basically. It's similar to Shantytown. You just put out like trash, and then you plant plants on top of the trash,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh,
then you move on to another
Oh,
location, and do it again.
okay.
cool.
And I
Oh yeah,
thought,
I've
well, I'll
heard of
just do
those.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'll just do that. I'll just like, you just play one location, you move on to the next location, but it just didn't feel. It felt like disconnected. So I created a story where you were like reliving memories, and you were had to like travel around and like create your memories. So I had like a scrapbook,
Mm.
and that's why you're taking photos and then like putting them in to relive memories. But still, it didn't quite work
Mm.
because it was like, why, like, I don't know, it doesn't make sense. Like, why do you like how are you building something and then you remember it afterwards? That doesn't make any sense. So I thought, let's just make it about surveying. So in the game right now in Shanty Town, you play the role of a surveyor. So it's supposed to be a little bit disconnected where you're building the location, but you're not actually building it. You're supposed to be like arriving, and then you take a photo of it, put it in a book, and put it. So that's where the book kind of changes into like a dossier. And then
Mhm.
you travel around to the next location and do it again, and you're kind of collecting a report on these different locations. So that's how the story evolved over time to what it is now. And I think as you play in the beginning, you're kind of like, uh, I don't care. Like I'm just playing. And then, but as you go on through the story, it kind of comes together and you get more interested into it and like, okay, let's kind of see what's going on. And then it does have an ending that may surprise,
Ooh.
depending on your
Yeah.
choices.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited.
So you kind of got it to a point where it keeps the player hopefully invested and then wanting to see, what
Mhm.
comes next.
Mhm.
Would you say like coming up with the story was one of the more challenging parts? And what were some of the most challenging parts if not like of creating this game?
Yeah, the story was definitely one of the most challenging parts of the whole process. It's what came together the last, I would say. Um, Apart from that, what else? I did have a hard time with the visuals actually. So this is
Mm.
like if you look at my previous game is a lot more amateur and like intentionally so. So I cut a lot of corners and actually made it look like a retro game to try to make it possible to finish. And this game I
Mhm.
was like, okay, I want to go full 3D. I want to do something. Plus my competition is like Tiny Glade, so
Mhm.
it has to be like good looking up to a point.
Mhm.
So I really worked hard on the visuals, and I really struggled, especially with lighting. And I actually ended up hiring somebody to do the lighting, and it was like the best decision I ever made. So
Yeah.
um, they crushed it. And it was like now it's absolutely perfect, and um, it was a good choice. But it took
Yeah.
some time, and yeah. So it is a solo developed project. I am by myself, but I think secretly all developers are not alone. Hopefully. So I
Yeah.
didn't do everything. Like I hired a musician to do the music and sound effects as well, and a couple other things here and there.
Yeah. I remember asking you at PAX. Because I didn't have headphones on when I was playing. I was like, are there satisfying sounds in this game? Because in the back of my head, like a game I had played similar was Tiny Glade. And I remember
Mhm.
that was like part of that game is like having the satisfying sounds. And I'm like, this seems like a game that would have that too. And you were like, yes, is that important to you? And I just thought, you know, yeah, that's something too. You have to think of like how it all comes together with the sounds, the music, and you're obviously very artistic, but you also need help from like other, means of artistry to bring it all
Yeah,
together.
they really need to have like a vision of what the experience is going to be, and then everything that's added into it has to it has to add to that vision, or you have to change it, right?
Mhm.
So that includes like sound effects. Like, does it match the feeling that I'm going for? Like every sound effect, every click, every like placement of buildings and stuff like that has to kind of fit that feeling.
Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah, this and our audience loves Tiny Glade. We do like a yearly cozy game award show. Didn't it win? Like it won a few awards.
I think
I
so.
think so. I remember it's kind of like a meme on our show because when
Yeah.
when I first introduced the two of you to Tiny Glade, both of you were like, I don't know, like if it's gonna be that interesting, and then you both loved it. But did say when we were talking recently on the show about because we do a lot of like, here's a list of games coming out. Are we gonna pass on them? Are we gonna play them? Are we gonna just like wish list them? And something that we continue to say about games that are like small scale building and decorating is we like them, but there's not always something to keeps us continuing to play them, which is what I think is so interesting about your game is it has that through line of like, okay, if you want to look for the story, it's there. If you need a reason to pick up the game and do it, it's there. And I think that's really exciting to players that it is something kind of different in this
Yeah.
like growing kind of genre, I feel like, of cute small scale building.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I put it on like 3 levels as well. So I knew the story pulls you along in one sense, it keeps you coming back for another round. There's like goals on each location, and that's to try to guide you to play a certain way. So like on some maps it'll say like don't build too high, like don't build over 2 stories high, or like build try to like or do build up to
Mhm.
5 stories high or something like that. And that's just to try to get the player to build in the direction of the vision that I had for that location. And then on a smaller scale, each object affects the buildings around it. Um, so you can say, oh, this potted plant is just right. It's perfect right here in this little corner. Or it's like, I don't know where to put this. And then you can look around and say, like, okay, well, what buildings are looking for this type of thing? Oh, I'll just give it to them. So it does kind of guide you along on each of those levels.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, we're all super excited about it. Again, if you're listening, it's probably out. I mean, it comes out like a day or two before, but go check it out over on Steam. Eric, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. So when you guys are looking for cozy games, like what makes the cut? Like what i- what part of a cozy game are you like, okay, this is perfect for me, or no, it's
Mm.
it's not? Like what makes you say yes or no?
Well, it kind of depends because, like, at this point, there's so many types of cozy games. So I think we all have our different interests and likes and dislikes. For me, I like love typically a bigger games like farming games where you're like
Mhm.
immersed. But then there are times where I'm like, I want to play a game like Shanty Town that I can go through and I can finish and I can like be like have that satisfaction of okay, I completed something because I play a lot of open-ended longer games like that. So for me, honestly, I think it starts with like the visual. I see the visual. I see that it has something that I either relate to or it's like satisfying in some way, whether it's the sound or the visuals, and then it kind of goes from there of like, okay, it's kind of like you see it and you just want to try it out. But I don't know, what do you guys think? Kind of a interesting, hard to answer question.
Yeah, I feel like very like similar to like what you said, there's so many games, so it's hard sometimes to figure out like, okay, how do I keep track of them? What am I interested in? And for me it's also very visual because it's I don't know, just like when I see something, I'm like, "Oh, okay, that looks interesting to me." Like I definitely care more about like what it looks like than maybe even like what it sounds like or maybe even like what it feels like playing. And I think for me, I kind of mirror what I'm playing based off of like what's going on in my life. So I feel like,
Mhm. Yeah.
when I have chaos, I'm playing Cult of the Lamb. Whereas now I'm kind of in a more like creative time in my life. So I feel like this is a really good time for Shantytown. Like that's something that when I saw like the trailer of it, specifically like the lighting, like the kind of city lights, like called to me because I live in New York and I'm kind of in this era of trying to explore where I live a little bit more. So I think that it's kind of just like what's speaking to you in general in a visibly pleasing sense, but also like what's speaking to you at whatever point you are in your life. Because I think for a lot of cozy gamers, people use cozy gaming as a way to escape whatever it is they're dealing with. Whether that be, you know, like personal stuff, the world stuff, job stuff, whatever. I think a lot of people like to come home to something cozy to play. And yeah, so I think it's just kind of like where the vibes are at, which is maybe a terrible answer, but that's how I kind of feel about it.
No,
Yeah.
I think that's yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, obviously visuals. We're all. I feel like everyone, to a fault, almost is like visual first. But we always say, like, every single month, you know, we talk about like the 15 games that are coming out this month. And if like 5 of them are farming games, we're like, okay, this looks cute. What does it do differently? That's what we say all the time. It's like, okay, I can. And these games, they take a lot of your time. Like cozy games take 40, 50 hours. So it's like, I'm not going to play every single game that just does farming well. Like it definitely needs something like, the Blumhouse game. What's it called?
Grave Seasons?
Grave Seasons. Like that's not just a cozy game. That's not just a farming game. There's a serial killer. So it's like, it kind of gives you more of an incentive to try out these new games. So I feel like on this show, we're always like, what does it do differently? Here's what it does differently. Okay, I'm sold, kind of thing.
A little more spice on the dish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little something.
Yes.
Yeah. I think games have 2 parts. In my mind, games have 2 parts to be successful. One, they have to have like a good dream. So you have to look at it and say like, oh, I can see myself playing it. I can see like, I want to know more about it. And then the second thing is it just has to have good moment to moment gameplay. Like seconds, like take 5 seconds. Like, is that 5 seconds enjoyable? So those are the 2 things I focus on. So hopefully that makes sense.
And I think once you're in the game, like
Yeah.
because we play a lot of games, we do like the Next Fest demos and stuff.
Yeah.
It needs to set up the player well, where you're like, I don't have to read like tons and tons of dialogue and tutorial, but I can also like learn how to play this and then quickly feel like a sense of not maybe too much guidance, but like also that sense of like I'm the one who's like the main character or the person who's gonna decide
God.
what's going on. Yeah, like in a sense, like you get to be in control, but also you know what to do next. I feel like once you're in the game, you have to kind of have a good setup.
It's like,
so-
oh, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Cool.
Awesome. Is there anything else you wanna? Yeah.
Oh,
go
I
ahead.
want to know, can we know some of your favorite cozy games?
Oh yeah.
Other than your own, of course.
Oh yeah. Well, I probably have the most hours in Shanty Town, but
Yeah.
I'm not like normally a cozy gamer, or I wasn't previously, but I did play a lot of games. Like I played Tiny Glade, Summer House, Big Cloud Gardens. I haven't played like Stardew Valley. I'm just afraid of the time commitment.
That's
It's
fair. That's
intimidating.
fair.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
I'm
It's a lot.
I'm just worried that like all my other stuff won't get done, So it's kind of a lot of pressure. But I play games like Valheim in a cozy way. So I'll just hop on with my brother and we just like build houses and chat and stuff like that. Or like Peak or things like that.
Cool.
I've also played like Unpacking, Little to the Left, and that kind of like, it's time to not think about anything, like just do exactly what is correct. So I like that.
Yeah.
But I actually play a lot of games. Like I play RPGs like Baldur's Gate, and I'm all over the place. I don't play scary games. I won't do it, even if it's a cozy game with a serial killer. Count me out.
Really? Oh, I love it.
The jump scares.
You're like,
Yeah.
nope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a
those are
good
great
mix of
picks.
games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's probably
Yeah,
so many
so-
people out there that are like, I wish I could erase Stardew's memory and play it. For
Yeah,
the first
yeah.
time.
Restart.
There's a couple games that I'm waiting for, like maybe after launch, but like Outer Wilds.
Mm.
Have you played that? I've never played it, and it's supposed to be like, a 10 out of 10 experience.
No.
Yeah,
No
I've
combat.
never
Is it Outer
played
Wilds or
that.
Outer?
There's two that have the similar name.
Outer
Yeah.
Wilds, Outer Worlds, but I think you're talking
Yeah.
Outer Wilds. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Outer Wilds. Yeah, the planet one. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's supposed to be
That's so
incredible,
fun.
and I want to kind of like put some time aside and say, like, okay, let's do it right.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, the first year I went to PAX, or maybe yeah, I think it was the first year I went. I met Pat and we were at this like dinner and they were asking everyone what's like that one game and everyone was saying that game.
Mhm.
Really,
Oh,
Yeah.
I've
And
never
I'd never
played it
played
either.
it still.
that's
Yeah.
so funny.
you guys should think about it. Maybe
I
we all
know.
play together or don't.
Yeah.
Little
Or we
book
don't.
club.
Let's go.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Is there anything else you wanted to share that maybe we didn't hit on or any closing thoughts on Shanty Town and just how you're feeling about it about to release?
Yeah, it's coming out really soon. I'm pretty excited. It's in a great spot, so I'm not too worried. But we didn't touch on the soundtrack too much.
Mm.
I'm pretty
Okay.
proud of the soundtrack. I think it's really cool and really unexpected. So, like a lot of cozy games and stuff like that, I feel like kind of going like the vanilla route. Vanilla actually, it's not a good term because vanilla is like an exotic spice. But anyways, like the normal route of like
Safe. It's
of
just safe.
what you expect.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's like ambient or maybe like lo-fi type
Mhm.
background
Yeah.
music. And I wanted something that's a little bit more forefront. And I know it's not going to be for everybody, but I'm really happy with how it is. Each song is handcrafted by this musician. He's like a vaporwave musician normally, and
Ooh.
uh, it's just kind of what I was listening to while I was making the game, and it's kind of a holdout from when the game was a bit darker. So I think it has a lot of character, and it kind of brings out a mood in each location as well. So like we went through and we like chose instruments, and then we chose like neighboring locations share instruments and stuff like that. You kind of get a feeling as you travel around of like the music evolving slowly, and
That
I
is
think it's
so
really
cool.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh.
It also changes dynamically based on the way you play. So if you play really quickly, like it'll escalate in intensity, and then if you like slow down, it'll go back down.
Oh my gosh.
That's
That is
cool.
so
Yeah.
unique. Yeah,
So
definitely something that we'll keep
yeah,
our eye out for when we're playing our ear out.
Yeah.
keep your ear out. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much again for joining us. And again, it is out. Go check it out.
Yeah,
Shanty Town.
if it's not out today by time of release or tomorrow,
But
it will
April
be.
16th.
It will be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you again we're so glad that you were able to go to PAX. And that's, I mean, at least for me, that's how I first heard of your game. So I'm so glad that you were a part of our PAX experience.
Yeah, thank you for coming by, and thank you for having me on the podcast. It was really, really cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you for
course.
taking the time to be here. 'Cause you're in Thailand, right? So they
Mhm.
started at 9 p.m. being on today. So thank you
Yeah.
for taking the time to be here.
It's actually a holiday today too. It's the Thai New
Oh.
Year's. That's why
Oh
I'm
my
wearing
gosh.
floral shirt, which is
Happy
tradition.
New Year.
I love that.
Yeah, thank you.
Aw. Happy
Of
New
course.
Year.
Oh my God.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you so much again. When we get back, we are going to be going into our emails. More on that right after this.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for watching episode 2 of season 4 of the Slow Burn podcast. I'm stepping on Min's territory once again. Min's mail time will resume shortly, but for now, you got PayPay's parcels.
Service.
I forgot about that.
Boop, boop, ba-doop. I don't even know.
PayPay
But
at the post.
PayPay at the post?
Oh.
Should I get like a little post office hat? Like, oh,
And a little backpack.
and a little backpack. A little
You're
backpack.
known for the backpack.
One woman wears a large backpack one time to one event, and now for the rest of her life, she's known as the big.
Big bag,
Bag.
Peyton.
I
Big
hate
bag
that.
backpack.
Anyways, this is the part of the show where we answer emails from you. If you have an email Well, okay, all of them are emails. If you have a question, if you have a hot take, if you have something to say and you want it to be on the show, you can send us an email to slowburncast@gmail.com, and we might just answer it on the show like we're about to do today for our friend Jamie, who is from Spain.
Ooh.
Jamie, thank you so much for writing in. Jamie says, "Hi, Slow Burn crew. I love your podcast, and I tend to listen to I could read it. I tend to listen to episodes over a series of days while I cook and putter around the kitchen. It's incredibly comforting to hear your voices and laughs while chopping vegetables or sipping tea. My question, why is there a lack of cozy life sims set in a city or urban area? I used to live in a very rural area, and playing farming sims actually helped me enjoy my real life even more. In 2025, I left the US to move to Europe, and now I'm in the heart of a city in Spain. I've enjoyed the many ways living in a city has its charms too. I want to play cozy games in a setting like this. Beautiful urban park, people walking their dogs, meeting neighbors in the apartment elevator, taking the push cart to the grocery store, looking at the beautiful architecture, finding small quiet cafes to people watch, and decorating my balcony. So many life sims have the same narrative, quote unquote, leave the big city to move to a small town into an old house with a lot of land and start a farm. Why aren't more life sims in other settings? I've actually considered going back to school for video game development to create something like this.
Whoa.
I love that. Is there a glaring problem with this narrative that I'm overlooking? Parenthesis, anyone want to work with me on this? Would love to hear your thoughts. Big hugs, Jamie. Jamie, thank you so much for this question. I love this question so much, and I agree. And I want to say, if you have dreams of becoming a game developer, oh my God, do it.
Follow your dreams.
Please follow your dreams. If you're looking for a sign, if you're like me and you're like opening your like Zodiac app and you're like, will I have a sign to change my life today? Throw the app out the window. This is your sign to do what that thing you wanted to do. You should do it. But anyway, about the life sims in the city. What do you guys think about that? Are you tired of the same narrative of leaving a city to start a new, better life? What are your takes on this? Especially, I thought this email would be fun after we just talked about Shanty Town and building and specifically having some more like city-like elements. So what do you think?
I'm just picturing
Min-
Jamie listening to this while cutting veggies.
Chopping vegetables.
Yeah.
I imagined a carrot. What did you imagine?
A pepper.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Why? Just 'cause?
Well, Peyton's wearing a pepper. Spain. I don't know.
Oh.
Oh.
Is
I
that
pictured
carrots?
an onion.
They have carrots.
Okay.
Onion. Okay, onions. Yeah. Let us know what
But-
you were chopping.
A follow-up email that's no subject and it's just
It was
Potatoes.
carrots.
cauliflower. Like, that's
I
it.
blame Concerned Ape.
It's his fault. He's never coming on the
Whoa.
show now.
No,
Okay,
listen to this.
I'm like mostly kidding, but at the same time, I feel like there are a lot of narratives where it's
Mhm.
like big town, bustling life, bad, countryside, good. And it's like, I don't know, I kind of blame that stereotype a little bit. It's just a narrative that's existed for 10 years now, 10 plus years now with,
There's
I mean-
a formula.
yeah, there's like a formula and
Yeah.
it's like kind of risky to go against it. I also think a lot of these games feature things that wouldn't make the most sense in a city, like fishing. I don't know how often Peyton goes out fishing.
Oh yeah, there's a
Brooklyn?
little puddle outside that I get the best fish from.
You know, so you have fishing, farming, which could be done well in like a city setting, like a greenhouse or like a rooftop thing or something. So I just think it's honestly, it's just a little bit more challenging to adapt that into city. And also you have like lots of sounds, and some people don't associate that with necessarily a cozy environment, but I would like to see it too. I mean, there's definitely games that are in this sort of genre,
Yeah.
but that's my personal answer. I think that it's a lot of that.
Okay. Yeah, my answer is this does exist, but not on a big scale. Like
yeah.
none of these games have blown up yet or been done in the most maybe appealing way yet. Like we had Two Pixelia, maybe that one was too overwhelming or too career focused and too compared to The Sims maybe. Where we also had that other game called Little Sim World, where I got the feeling of like the city life and like some of the mechanics that the email mentioned of like you go to the park and you do the blah 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 and you could go down to the dock and fish. You could do that stuff like in some ways, but it wasn't focused on farming or like land. And then there's a newer game called Moonlight and Garland, which is on Switch now and it's been on Steam. And I have a friendly relationship with that dev, and she was saying I like asked her how the launch has gone, and she's like, it's going good. She's like, I wouldn't really want it to have just like blown up right now because I have
Yeah.
so much to work on. It's just me, and I have to figure out like a lot of these bugs and stuff all by myself. And I feel like that one does a lot of these things really well. So I feel like this is like kind of an up and coming thing that can do well and will eventually do well. And I want to see it do well because when I've played its bits and pieces of these games, like I've really liked it because I get the same feeling, but I am doing different things, or the mechanics are different. Or when I even played Fishbowl, which is a life sim, it was like, okay, I'm watering plants, I'm doing the dishes. I like weirdly love doing that in the games. I don't know. Um, so I hope that it can, you know, like the right game can really do this and do this the right way and like in a unique way. Like, so they are out there. I just don't think it's really popularized yet.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I instantly thought about Moonlight and Garland too, which I only think I played the demo of. I don't think I've played it since full release, or if I did, it was not a whole lot of it. But that is one where I really enjoyed it, but like I want there to be even more. Like what I enjoyed about it, I enjoyed, but I want there to be just like even I want all the city stuff because I'm incredibly biased. I moved to this city, so I had the whole like I'm starting my life over for a better life, but it was like in a city and not a farm. I came from the Garden State. Not that I lived on a farm. I certainly did not. I lived in a suburb by the Jersey Shore. But now I live in a city. It's like, oh my God, we're moving to the city. That's so fun. And there's so many different like intricate things that you can have. Like I love some of the things that Jamie said, and like you said, Pat, like you could do like a rooftop garden. Like I in Brooklyn always see community gardens that I'm always scared to eat from a little bit because there are rats on the street as well. But it's fine. It's okay. It's okay. Whatever. Um, but there are just so many opportunities for like different types of things. Like not everything has to be fishing. Not everything has to be mining. I think there's opportunity for more fun things. And specifically, I love something that Moonlight and Garland does, which is I think mirrors most cities, is there's different parts of the city and each part feels different. And I like that idea of like, okay, I'm gonna go to this part of the city and this part maybe is like, I don't know, more like brownstones and like quiet versus this is like Times Square and it's like busy and there's like crazy stuff going on. And well, there's crazy stuff everywhere, but you know what I mean. I think in general I'm biased because I want a city because I love a city. I live in a city. But I think
Yeah.
that Jamie has a good point of like there are so many other types of environments that we don't see in a life sim. We see so many island. Island, farm.
Yeah.
Island and farm, farm and island, floating
Utopia.
island in the sky. That's it.
Yep.
Give us more. I want a cabin in the woods.
It's just safe.
I want
Developers play it safe. Like
I want to be on a volcano. I want to be I want to be on a glacier.
Yeah. Jamie, if you're listening still, take a moment and stop chopping a vegetable. I have an idea for your game. What if you could go down into the sewers, the gutters, and there's like these creepy rats that come out, and that's the combat, and you can go with the rats, and then like maybe getting through these tunnels takes you to something cool at the end. I'll leave it up to you.
That's Ninja
You
Turtles.
guys like my idea? Oh, is it?
No, I'm kidding.
No, I was gonna say actually in Dreaming Isle, you fight rats in a tunnel.
Ooh.
Oh,
But
like,
that one
what,
that's different. It's a little different.
what day-to-day things could you have in a city? Like, okay, rooftop garden or like micro garden. It would have
why
to
do
be a
you need
lot
a
of
garden?
what?
I'm going to the bodega and I'm like helping them like put cream cheese on bagels.
You could have like a shop simulator type thing. It would have
I
to be a
think-
lot of like relationship stuff.
I'm
and-
getting on the train, like I'm going on the
Mm.
subway.
Doing a job, like you go and try to get a job and see what you can
Yeah.
do. Maybe like starting your own business or something. I don't know.
Ooh, yeah, that could be cool. I
Mm.
also like the idea of walking my dog, and also like specifically my dog is a picky dog and he's friends with certain dogs, and there are other dogs like, uh-oh. For some
Get
reason,
away
he
from
doesn't
me.
like the poodles. We gotta cross the street. It's like, oh, we gotta cross the street, but now there's a car coming.
Mm.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
in
my
Tupexalia,
God.
You get hit by the car if you run
Yeah.
in front.
This is true. I did like in Tupexalia, you did get diseases too.
Yeah.
Didn't
I
you
do.
have
Yeah.
a bug where you were very diseased?
I had a bug that was like I was just sick the whole time, nonstop. Like I talked to any character and then I was immediately sick all the time. So like, you know, but when that works and it's balanced, that's better. But like, I don't know. I would want something that's like very character driven, because when you have a city, you need more NPCs.
Yeah.
Whereas like in Stardew Valley, there's a lot of NPCs, of course, but it would be weird if there was, I don't know, like triple the amount. Like, oh, this is a small town. Why there's so many people? Jeez.
Mhm.
Where I feel like in a city, maybe that's something that is hard, is to make it not feel empty, because a lot of games will do like these lifeless NPCs that walk around, and it's like that doesn't really feel fulfilling either.
Yeah.
So it's either you got to have like a very large amount of NPCs or it feels empty.
Yeah. I think you're hitting on exactly what Jamie was asking of like, what is the thing that maybe isn't going right with that? What am I overlooking? I think it's the fact that when you go from a corporate job to a farming game, it's literally in the name, farming game. Where city, it's so open-ended. There's so many things you could do. So I guess the opposite of the farming would be going to do a corporate job. But then if you're just like, that doesn't entail fishing and collecting and finding these whimsical blah blah blahs in the forest, you know, it comes down to like, oh, I'm just like maybe doing some mini game on the computer for a little bit of my game, and then I'm doing my city life where I go out to my book club. And I think that's where it becomes, maybe there needs to be more incentive of like, oh, foraging and collecting and doing things, and that's where it gets tricky.
It's
Like,
gotta
maybe-
be like you're on unemployment in the city. You don't have to go to your job, but you can try to get one if you want one.
I
be a
think it
tough
needs
sell, I
to
think.
be like, you go to a city that's really run down and you need to help build it back up by working at your corporate job, taking a part-time job at the cafe, and getting people to come in and like, you know, doing something like that, where then you're collecting things or you're handing out flyers, or like you have to, I don't know, talk to as many people. I don't know. That's kind of what I would think maybe
Start from the
could
trenches.
do it. Because I
Yeah.
think what gets it addictive is like this going out to find different items, collecting them, bringing them back, handing them in, and like you get really into that loop. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Very that. I loved this question. Thank you so much, Jamie. I hope you've chopped all your vegetables for today. I hope you don't have to chop anymore. But if you
Just
want to
by
chop,
sipping tea.
sip the tea. I hope the tea is good. Let us know what type of tea, what type of vegetables. If you ever want to get crazy and chop some fruit too, you can join us for our after show that's available for our Patreon supporters that we're going to record right after this. What a fun time, everybody. Look at us. We did it. A big thank you and shout out again to Eric, the developer from Shanty Town, who joined us earlier today. And do you guys have anything? My dog is wiggling, so if you hear jingle bells, ignore that. Anything else before we wrap it up today?
Great show.
Yeah, good show. I think that's it. And yeah, tune in every Wednesday or Tuesday on the Patreon. And we will see you again next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.